Welcome to a little segment I like to call Bumps and Bends. Hey guys, here we go again, another episode of Bumps and Bends. Thanks for watching. Here we are this week, Formula Sprint at Barcelona, the historic track. It's tough. You've really, what I'm noticing, I've had a race already, I've spectated a race, that's part of my routine on a Wednesday now. Watching the fast guys, your the on limit grip balance and how you handle the car on right on the limit is going to give you so much time today. Also, brake bias, I've changed it to 55.5, where my happy medium has usually been 56.1. The standard when you jump into a session is 58.1, and yeah, very important to get your braking balance into the corner spot on. It will really help you shoot the car out of the corner this week, and that's where these guys are finding a lot of time. My time's not that good, but a 1:35.3 I'm relatively happy with. That was on lap 5 of this run. For that, I did a 35.518 and then a 519. My optimal is down to a 35.1. The fast guys are in the mid 34s, so look out for these guys, just seriously fast. Let's have a look at a 35.3. Let's go for it. So going out really wide here from turn 1. Brake balance, really throw the car in hard. You've got to have faith in the the downforce. Try not to lift through that. Really throw the car in here and focus on your exit. I was right on the edge and it was just almost at the point of spin. You could go right out wide there. I nearly spun like 3 times on this lap. I was doing 3rd here, but the leaders are just digging in 4th, and that gives you about a 1/10 of a second. There's a little trick here on the curb where the floor of the car will help turn the car. That'll give you another 1/10 or 2. Just find that latest point that you can brake. Really hug the inside corner, minimize the length of the track, and try and carry as much speed as you can without understeering. Oversteer out of the corner, throw it in. You can use all that curb. Use the sausage as a marker, bounce into the apex. You can use most of this. And that is a 35.3. Let's have a look at that from the outside of the car, because I find there's a lot we've got to do here today. Let's get stuck into it. So first thing I've noticed in the racing is the gearing of the car in a slipstream will not get you past the guy in front unless he makes a big mistake in the last corner. Really about how confident you are on braking into turn 1. So I watched the leader, Marcel, I think his name was, and he's going right out wide. Find the widest point before you get an off track, and that really helps you turn in for turn 1. I'm basically using the center of the car, the nose of the car on that line, and go even further out and braking at the 50 marker and really cutting it in. I think it's the 50 marker. There is no 50 marker. So you'll see there's a line I'm using that line as a reference where the blue cone is, and you've got this footpath as well. So that's what I'm using as a reference, and I'm actually braking a lot earlier. You'll see the fast guys are braking here. It's incredible how they can throw the car in. I get down to fourth, and then use third. So have a delay between fourth and third, and you see the way the front end just pulls in. You're aiming for this sausage curb. You're trying to miss it, trying to carry as much speed as you can. If you throw too much speed in, it will throw you out wide, and you're going to lose so much more time at the next section of the track. So just keep it pinned. Not that I have. I've pushed it way too hard, so I'm actually a little bit off. Understeering. And through here, I'm trying to keep it pinned. That's my mindset, keep it pinned. But my brain still tells me to back it off a little bit. Going to fifth a little bit earlier was helping. But getting that muscle memory in does help. Takes a lot of practice. The guys are going out really wide here. And instead of going down to third for the corner, they're going down to fourth and then third later. Your focus really needs to be on the exit rather than being able to throw the car in. You need that car to have as much speed as possible. So you're really pushing out wide, and it's about having speed at this part of the track. And have 5 or 10 k's extra. This section of the track will get you almost a tenth of a second. Then just steady the car, hard on the brakes in the second, and it's a really late apex this corner. So try and not to turn in too early. Can use the curb itself on the inside tyre to help turn the car a little bit. And yeah, after watching the leaders, you can use all of this track and you will not get an X for that. So it helps with your actually getting on the throttle early. So if you run a little wide, that's all good. Personally, I go in here for the minimize the length of the track, but you don't have to be too aggressive. And I was going third here because the understeer is quite heavy here. But then watching the leaders, it's just about throwing the car in fourth. And you see it wants to do that inherent understeer over to this sausage curb. That's got to be your reference point. And you'll see at the flicking, I flick to the other side. I'm trying to just miss that and then straight line this as much as possible. So staying out wide here. Now there's a little trick that I've learned at this corner is if you line up the nose of the car with the curb itself, the way it raises up there will actually catch the floor of the car and help pull it in. So that's what I'm trying to do here. So that really helped turn the car in. So if you can get that line right, you're minimizing the understeer on exit. I'm pulling it in and see it really helps turn, throw a bit more speed here. Very easy to get an X. Yeah. Try and avoid this as much as possible. If you can get your speed out of the apex rather than a wide exit, yeah, favor that. Week. Now I'm using the 50 marker as a reference point, but shadow's turned off in the replay. But at this sign here, there is a shadow, and that's my actual reference point. So I'm on the brakes, but I'm just trying to brake as late as my brain will let me. Down to third, then second at the last second to really pull that front end in. The guys are probably braking a lot later and using this part of the track and cutting in. But personally, I prefer to just keep the track length to a minimum, keep it in. Might be sacrificing a little bit of time, but going deep into braking into that hairpin really makes the car unstable. So my skill set's not that high. And then staying wide here, and I'm trying to use as much trail braking as possible. I'm just braking slowly into the corner, nice and smooth in third gear. Try and just settle the car. and then find that early point where you can get on full throttle. You go from understeer to a flick oversteer and go wide on the exit. At this corner, I haven't used a lot in this particular lap, but you can really throw the car. Once again, use the nose to almost aim for the green. But I've turned in a little bit late there. So my potential is there for the track. I know what I'm doing wrong, but a 35.3 I'm relatively happy with. Now I was watching Sebastian in the race I spectated, and he actually used this sausage curb to bounce. So he was sort of steadily heading towards the end of the sausage curb, just touching it with the front left tire, and it was bouncing it at just the right angle where he could carry a little bit more speed. So that's what I was trying to do. Pull it in full throttle. In the radicals a few weeks ago, we couldn't use this much track. That will not get you in next week. So I participated in one race, and that doesn't help. Component failure. So I participated in one race today, and I spectated a race, and the rolling starts are tedious. So you start quite early in the lap. Sorry, quite late in the lap. You will not get a full lap of warm up. And basically you've got the entrance of the pits are here. So that's where the safety car is going to pull in. Now the race I spectated, they pretty much came to a stop here, and the safety car was almost in his pit box before they started rolling above 50 k's an hour. Right? Going to expect the tactics are going to be here for a rolling start once again, and that concertina mid pack is going to be quite deadly. I made up 4 spots before the race had even started. So the race that I actually started, the leader took off, and I was just watching that leader. You can see when he's cutting in, because the body language of the car is quite aggressive, turning into that corner. When they're slow, that you can see they're puddling along, but as soon as I saw him throw it in, I was off. And so just watch the leader, see how much of a gap they're giving to the safety car. If they're right on the bum of the safety car, you know you're going to have a relatively clean start. If you see them having a massive gap, you know there's going to be games played, and just look out for it. You can gain by just avoiding the consequences of others' failures. So there we have a track guide of a Catalunya Formula Sprint. Thanks for watching, guys. Give us a thumbs up if you liked it, down if you didn't. Make sure you subscribe and come check me out on Twitch, and I'll see you next time. Bye.